Hello and a warm welcome to the Federal. I'm Neelu Vyas. Spotlight continues to remain on Gautam Adani, especially after the crisis triggered by the Hindenburg report, and his shares have been plummeting since about more than 5 days. Today, there was a report in the morning after a free fall in the market that probably S&P and Dow Jones will remove Adani Group from the sustainability index from 7th February onwards if this kind of a free fall continues. But by afternoon, for the first time today, Union Minister Prahlad Joshi broke his silence and he said that the government doesn't have to do anything with the Adani Group. And few hours later, we had Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman also saying that our market is well regulated, there is nothing to worry. And one instance, even if it is being globally talked about, will not decide how well our financial sector is governed. So the question we are going to discuss in today's debate is that is the government trying to distance itself from the Adani Group, or for that matter, Gautam Adani? And where is this crisis really heading to? Are we really going to see some investigation happening? I'm joined by a veteran panel this evening. I'm joined by BJP supporter Sanjay Rana. Thank you, Sanjay, for joining. I have with me Aditi Fadnis, who is the political editor, Business Standard. Lovely to have you, Aditi, on the program. I have Sumitra Goenka, who is a strategic analyst. Thank you so much, Sumitra.
Sure.
And I have Giri Prakash, who is the business editor from the Federal. Thank you, Giri. And let me begin by Sanjay Rana, because he has lots to answer. And I'm seeing Shiv Bhatia, the Congress spokesperson, is also joining on the program. And let him switch his camera. So then I'll go to him. But I'll begin the debate with Sanjay Rana. Sanjay Rana, are we to assume now that the government is trying to distance itself from Mr. Adani? First, there comes a statement from Prahlad Joshi. Then hours later, Nirmala Sitharaman makes a statement saying that everything is all right with the financial sector and one instance will not decide. What is the government really trying to indicate?
Hi, Neelu. Good evening to you and good evening to my fellow panelists. First of all, we need to look at Gautam Adani as a businessman, not as an ally of government of India. He's not part of government of India. Has no stake in government. So therefore, we should not link with him with the government of India. As far as Adani is concerned, obviously, if you look at his asset, his shares price going down is almost 20% has gone down in the last couple of days. Is a concern for the investor, but still, if you look at the stock market, has always behaved on the pattern on certain things, and obviously it will come back. But as far as government is concerned, they have instructed SEBI as well as RBI to do the investigation if anything is false in this complete things which is going on. And obviously, when you talk about the Hindenburg,
Mr. Rana, but you have to explain that if government doesn't have anything to do with Mr. Adani, then why did the government give him a sovereign guarantee? You go internationally, you see the business deals happening. The government of India has given a sovereign guarantee to the Adani Group. And now you're saying that the government has nothing to do with the Adani Group. How does one take it?
No. Yeah, Neelu, government has not given any kind of guarantee to Mr. Adani. Obviously, he's an Indian businessman like other businessmen, and they can do the business anywhere across the globe. If you look at India, when we talk about India, obviously the Rajasthan government, Congress has given order. If you look at Chhattisgarh government, they have given order. If you look at Bengal government, they have given order to project order to Mr. Adani. So businessmen will work as per the business requirement, and if or he or she will look at any opportunity across the globe, they will go and just find out the business for the business things. We should not at all link with the government. Government is nowhere. Yes, if anything went wrong, I don't see there is anything went wrong. If it goes wrong, obviously, as a government, they have all the rights to intervene and do the investigation. But right now, when you talk about the investigation,
you don't think that there should be an investigation in this at all, at least for now?
No, I don't think so. Government should come into the picture. Anyway, SEBI is there. Anyway, RBI is there, and both the regulatory bodies are doing investigation. They have taken a precautionary step as well. So we should trust on our agencies, and I don't think anything is went wrong in this whole scenario. Obviously, because of some report, she's gone down, but still, it's promising.
Okay, so you're saying it's still promising. Let me go to
Yes.
Aditi Fadnis. I'll come to you, Shiv Bhatia, later. But I want to get a perspective from Aditi on this. Mr. Sanjay Rana says that the government has not given any sovereign guarantee. And then he brings in Ashok Gehlot's government, then he brings in Chhattisgarh government. And then finally he says that the government has nothing to do with Adani. Now, is this a very convenient alibi to say, and also passing the buck to SEBI and RBI now, that the government agencies will do their work, which means that there probably will be no inquiry? Are the indications very strong that there will be no inquiry, there will be no investigation happening?
So, Neelu, let's not, throw the baby out with the bathwater. Let's retain a sense of balance here. Because ordinary people's money is involved, and these are the two institutions which are involved with Adani, who have invested money, are venerable institutions like the State Bank of India, like the Punjab National Bank, and the LIC. We should not be taking these things lightly. As far as the political management of the fallout of the Adanis is concerned, the very fact that I was talking to a very senior BJP leader just a few minutes before I came into this program, and he told me that we have not got any instructions about how to fend off these charges that this government has indulged in crony capitalism. Whether it has or not is absolutely evident from just one incident that I will cite, which is actually a very small incident, and which does tell us about India's power projection abroad, but it also tells us how much the Indian government is indebted to the Adanis, because the Adanis invested in a windmill farm in Sri Lanka. They put the money there. The Sri Lankan government, the Ceylon Electricity Board, said that the bid would have to go through a proper procedure, and the president of Sri Lanka called the chairman of the corporation, which was state-owned, and told him, forget about the bids. I'm under a lot of pressure from the Prime Minister of India. Just give the contract to the Adanis. Now, if that is the effort for a tiny, small investment of a windmill farm, which frankly is no great asset acquisition for the Adanis, then what else is at the back of this, we really don't know. And it would help a lot. I mean, the Adani's rise to power has been a subject of great mystery to most investment bankers abroad, who are just unable to understand how they have so much debt and yet can manage to make so much money.
Right.
There is no correlation between the assets that they have and the way their stock is moving in the stock market.
And you say that it can't happen without tacit support from the government.
I am not, look, I am a responsible reporter, so I am not, because I don't know enough about this, I don't want to go into uncharted territory. All I know is that at the moment, even the top level BJP MPs, I mean, this gentleman I was speaking to has been a finance minister of a state. Even they have not been taken into confidence about exactly what has gone wrong here.
Right.
So it's possible that the government does not want the Adanis to lose any more money, which by implication means ordinary people's money, and does not want their stock to go like plummeting in the markets. But we have to also responsibly ask the government as reporters,
Absolutely.
what exactly is going on here.
Right. Let me go to Giri now, and then I'll come to you, Shiv Bhatia. Giri, do you have a feeling that now Adani has started managing the media as well? Because now today, when you look at in the afternoon, when you saw the business channels, one or the other investor of the Adani Group was coming and speaking to the people, trying to reassure the people that there's nothing to worry. So is that an indication of the fact that Gautam Adani has has actually begun to restore his position? And maybe because tomorrow is a Saturday, you don't have a market which is active. But maybe for Monday, things don't plummet further, is what Aditi is saying. So do you think that Gautam Adani is on his way to, manage the things somehow?
I don't think so. I think the post-management of the Hindenburg report has been very bizarre on the part of the Adanis. Let me quote him, what he actually said. He did say that some time ago when he first came out with his statement, he did say that, let me quote this here. He said, this is not merely an unwarranted attack on any specific company, but a calculated attack on India, the independence, integrity, and quality of Indian institutions, and the growth story and ambition of India. Now let's look at what the Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman told in news channel. She said India's financial sector is very well regulated, and one instance, no matter how much it is talked about globally, is not going to be indicative of how well Indian financial markets have been gowned. Let me also quote the Finance Secretary TV Somanathan. He said that it was a storm in a teacup, and he also said that India's public financial system is robust. He said that the stock market turmoil was not the government's concern, and he also said these are sideshows. They are of interest to those who are interested in the stock market and investment. From a macroeconomic point of view, this is a non-issue. So what does it exactly mean? It means the Adani is talking about how the national interest has compromised goes out of the window, right? That's one. And what is it also means that the Indian government is very clear that they are not going to back Adani. Let him do whatever that he wants. Okay. And the fact of the matter is, a report comes out from nowhere, and Adani, valuation falls by around $108 billion in a few days' time. Whether you like it or not, this is the truth. It's not, I mean, if one report can cause this kind of damage to the Adani Group, you can understand what exactly is the problem out there. And today, the government of India formally, the finance minister as well as the finance secretary have made it very clear that we are not responsible for what's happening.
Right.
So it's entirely left to the Adanis to do whatever that he wants to do. This is fact of the matter, and he better clean up his act now.
Right. Okay. Shiv Bhatia, I'm going to come to you and then I go to Sumitra. What does it mean now? Now the government now has started distancing itself, and Giri has just given examples of how people have just said that, the agencies are independent and they will continue to probe. In fact, I was reading senior advocate and BJP MP Mahesh Jethmalani's statement also, where he says that what does the government have to do with Adani? What's the government's role in this? This is what he spoke to the reporters in Parliament about. And then he said that if any wrongdoing has been done by Adani, SEBI and RBI will probe. So the opposition parties are making a hue and cry. You all are raising a heat over having a JPC or a Supreme Court audited committee. Is it really going to yield any result?
You see, I am very worried about the statement of ministers and as a finance minister or a parliamentary ministers, and even a spokesman who's sitting here to support Adani's act. Nothing is wrong into it. When the loss of $150 billion of a small investor is lost, is ruined, and they are talking about, nobody's talking about the investors' money. They are talking about only Adani. Adani has done nothing wrong into it. He will do whatever he can explain to it, and that will be fine. And they are just keep aside. What is the nonsense is going on in this country? When the one letter of Subrata Rai wrote to the SEBI about how you can inquire about my company without the listed company when he was gone for a IPO, and the SEBI has given a FIR on that, and he was behind the bar for 2.5 years. He's on bail right now, and you are talking about that money is only 1 lakh crore, and now the money lost by the investor is 12,50,000 crore, 12,50,000 crore, and the Adani's money from $126 billion to $61 billion, ruin the country's image, and the ministers are talking in favor of Adani. They are not talking about the investors. They don't have to worry about the society who's investing into the stock market. What is going on? Nobody is talking about the inquiry of Adani. Nobody has said, yes, we will inquire if somebody has given a
Mr.
wrong
Khatri, now the
picture.
government is very clear that they have nothing to do with Adani and they have left everything to SEBI and RBI and other enforcement agencies to probe into it. So what is the result you are looking at when you are raising the heat, when you are opposing the entire thing? You're trying to bring the government on the mat on this issue. But if it's not going to yield results, are you going to protest outside SEBI office? Are you going to protest outside the RBI office? How is it really going to pan out now?
The Prime Minister is sitting on a one table to sign with Adani, with the Australian Prime Minister, with the SBI chairman. How can be possible the SEBI comes out and inquire about Adani without the permission of the government? And you are talking about SBI? How an SBI had invested 23,000 crore without inquire about the valuation of the company? When the Hindenburg is said, the valuation of the company is only 15%. The valuation of the stocks are already on a 10%. Already Adani Enterprises on 24%. The loss of the small investors, nobody is worried about. Nobody is talking about. If there is any bullshit, we will be punishable. The other person's law is different and the other person's law is different. When you had given a sovereign guarantee, everybody is saying on a sovereign guarantee, he can deny it on the record. They had already given a sovereign guarantee. Nilu, if you had invested into the SBI of 1 crore rupees and SBI has doing, you had only eligible for 1 lakh of rupees. If Adani is invested into SBI of 100 crores, he will be returned back of 100 crores. That type of a guarantee he has. And they are talking about still in favor of Adani, just to Lipapoti. This is not to be happened. That cannot be spared. This will happen to ruin the country's image internationally when the Citibank and the rest of the agencies has blacklisted you on record, or for your shares. Your shares are only a piece of paper. Please return our money back. Who will return our money back? Okay. He will go away from the country.
Right. So let me get in Sumitra here. Sumitra, you are a market strategist. Does the situation really worry you as a market strategist as to what is happening, the kind of turmoil, the kind of bloodbath which is seen, the way Adani shares are plummeting? Does it really worry you? Or you still feel that the economy is in the right shape, as what Nirmala Sitharaman says?
Okay, namaste to all. So I think I have a few points and I have around 4 or 5 points here. So first, let me talk about the market. See, the market is always volatile. We are in a free market economy where the government is not regulating the prices of what is happening in the share market. Now, if you talk about a few days back in December 2022, there was a report which came in that fintech and e-commerce companies have, eroded more than 2 lakh crore worth money from the IPOs. So now I don't want to name those companies, but everyone knows which are those fintech companies. There was a cosmetic company, there were some food aggregators, these kind of companies who came in with huge IPOs. Basically, these are loss-making organizations, or they are not year on profit, but on the basis of just valuation and words like market capitalization, these stocks were oversubscribed. And what happened eventually? Eventually, after 6 or 8 months, all these shares came down 60, 70, 80% down. And today, people who have invested in these stocks are left nowhere. I think singling out Adani behind an Hindenburg report is not what is supposed to be done. If you look at these companies, compare these companies with what Adani has. Adani has SEZ, ports, he has got oil, green energy, Wilmar, ACC Cement, Ambuja Cement, media companies, airports, infrastructure projects. If you look at the things like business continuity, if you look at the assets.
Isn't that a reason enough to worry further ahead?
Can I complete? See,
yes.
When does a SBI, I have some points here. That's why I said first, when does an SBI or any other company, apply or invest in another company, be it a mutual fund or other things? Now, was Adani in the sustainability list of Standard & Poor's? Yes. Was Adani in the top scripts of this country, NSE, BSE or whatever. Yes. So if you look at all these things, even Goldman Sachs has rated them high. Even now they are saying it's nothing to worry about. Goldman Sachs has also given a report. If you look at Credit Suisse, till yesterday, they just said that, we are not going to take it as a collateral. But at the same time, it was rating Adani SEZ at a premium yesterday also in yesterday's report. So there was no indication. This is the first time that Hindenburg has come. So there is no fault if SBI is doing anything. Are these research companies like Standard and Poor's?
Adani being removed from the sustainability index of S&P and Dow Jones?
That was today. That was today after the script fell down like this. It was not till yesterday. So there is no fault in anything. Second thing,
let me get it, Aditi. Sumitra, just hold your thoughts over there. Sumitra, just hold your thoughts.
I just want to counter.
I want to get in, Aditi, on what you have said. Just hold your thoughts.
Statement was denied.
Let me get in, Aditi, please. Allow her to speak.
It was not denied.
It is denied. You can check the Hindu report. I can send it to you, ma'am. The president
I have read the Hindu report, but I have also
hear out, Aditi, please. Yes, Aditi.
I have
So
also
the president of Sri Lanka has denied this. Also, there is a statement from the person from the Ceylon Electricity Board who had initially quoted this, stating that it is an emotional statement and there is no such thing. The Prime Minister's Office of Sri Lanka as well as President of Sri Lanka has denied this. So please get your facts right, ma'am. And there was nothing wrong with Adani stocks. Everything was good in the market. And you see the investor confidence is coming back. I think if they manage their assets well, if they manage their debts well, they will come back. Now coming to bids, see, they are bidding. Government is not gifting them projects. We are saying as if, Modi is sitting and gifting them projects. Reliance and Adani is bidding this power. If anybody
government is not gifting them projects, is what Sumitra Goenka is saying.
You can see that these are all bids.
I'll come to you, Sanjay Rana. I'll come to you. Let me get in a response from Bhatia ji, and then I'll come to you. Yes, Bhatia ji, government is not gifting Adani the projects. Yes.
Absolutely wrong. That is there. When the Prime Minister is sitting with a chair of...
Just let's not cross talk. Otherwise,
Sure, no problem.
Yes, Bhatia ji.
When the Prime Minister is sitting with a Australian Prime Minister with the SBI chairman and Adani is there, why Australian people had denied to continue with that project? Because they are aware of it. That is wrong. The government is doing it. It is under the pressure. And what he said for the Sri Lankan government, they are pressurizing to give a project to the Adani. On what contest? On what contest? Why he has given a sovereign guarantee on that? Only one corporate company. You can support, but I am talking about the investors of this country who has lost 12 lakh 50,000 crore, more than a $150 billion. Who has to pay? Not Adani. Adani's bubble is bust in totality. That is there.
Okay. Sanjay wanted to say something. Yes, Sanjay.
Yes, Nilu, I request you to give me at least 2 minutes to counter all the questions, whatever is arise here. And I absolutely agree with my
final word to Aditi and Giri.
Yes. I agree with Sumitra, I think. Sumitra, I totally agree with the Sumitra. And one point I would like to highlight here, when we talk about the investor money, what you're talking about the investor money, I'll give you the examples. Few examples for Mr. Suri, which is very important for him to understand. When we talk about the Adani gas IPO, when IPO was there, the share price was 360. I know what was the share price as on today is 1600 rupees. So please, none of the investors' money is gone in drain. Number one. Number two, when you talk about LIC investment in Adani is 1%. The total investment of LIC is a 41,66,000 crore rupees, and out of which 10 lakh rupees is only in equity, and in equity 36,472 crore rupees invested in Adani, which is less than 1%. And you know what's the value as on date is plus 50,000 crore rupees. So where is money is gone? Why are you splitting information, giving a misinformation to investor of India? This is number one.
In a way, you are completely dismissing what Hindenburg report has said. You don't even want to investigate.
No. I'm coming to the point, Nilu. Investigation, yes. If anyone is raising the bar or raising a red flag, obviously SEBI is there. RBI is there.
Who will raise the red flag here? Who will raise it?
As per you, is Hindenburg. I don't acknowledge
And that's
Hindenburg
not
as
good
a
enough for
company.
you to investigate.
No, not
That's
at
not
all.
good enough for you to
Not at
investigate.
all.
Not at all.
Not at
Not at
all.
all.
Not at all. Not at all. Why I'm saying it's not at all? Look at the company track record. Is a 9 employee and 2 directors. They can raise question on the company of who has say $146 billion company. How can you raise it? Still, if you raise, SEBI is there and RBI is there to take all the precautionary action. How come
RBI
government
has
coming
not
to the
acted.
picture?
SEBI has
Give me
not
1 minute.
acted.
Nilu,
When
give me
the
SEBI is
1
share
active.
minute.
values were inflated,
SEBI is
why
active.
didn't
No,
SEBI inquire at that time?
Nilu, give me 1 minute.
no.
SEBI was sitting
Is
quietly.
active.
We must-
Active. SEBI is active. Look at the yesterday's statement, day for statement, and look at the RBI statement. Everyone
They
is
asked for the
active.
bank details yesterday. Sanjay, we must admit
Bank
that
details,
RBI
and
asked
even
for the bank details yesterday.
yes,
Before that,
how
what
what?
was SEBI doing
Okay,
all this while?
okay. 30 seconds. Obviously, I'll come to the point. What is the total loan on government banks? Total loan, if they have given 100 rupees to all the people as a loan, only 0.7% is on Adani, and private bank is 0.3%. So look at the amount. It's 21 to 23,000 crore rupees. I'm not
Okay.
saying it's
Okay.
a small amount. It's a big amount. But why you're worried? If you look at the share price, share
Okay,
price is
Sanjay, I
still
got your point.
very high.
Okay, let me go to Sumitra and then I'm going to go, give the final word to Aditi and Giri. Yes, Sumitra, you wanted to make a point very briefly.
Yeah. See, first thing is we are talking about this Hindenburg report, which is a research firm as per Hindenburg.
Yeah.
We don't know what is Hindenburg. Second thing is Standard and Poor, Goldman Sachs, BSC, NSC, everybody which was rating Adani till today, they have rated them good. Till yesterday, Credit Suisse is rating them good. So do you want to say that all the researchers who are sitting there were fudging their records? When you are raising questions on SEBI, when you are raising questions on RBI, that is what we will believe in. SEBI said they are investigating. RBI has asked the banks to see. So we will figure out whether the corporate governance issues were there or whether the banks have moved out of their league and given some loans to them. Coming to the debt and other things, I think, see, when somebody invests, whether it's LIC or investor or anybody else, what they look at is the business continuity, how much assets they have. If you look at these fintech companies, e-commerce companies, they don't have anything. See the valuation, Microsoft. Tomorrow, if somebody comes and says, Tata or say Reliance is, fudging the record.
From what you were saying, from what you are saying, we completely, it seems that we should not be raising so much of hue and cry about what has happened.
Nobody is saying the misinformation which people are trying to target Adani.
But as responsible journalists, we are supposed to ask questions. No, please. I'll go to Giri now.
That is your view. I just told about my view.
Okay, fine. I accept.
Absolutely agree with you, Sumitra. Agree with you.
No, you are entitled to have your own views, Sumitra and Sanjay both. But I want to go to Giri now. Giri, it's very clear that the government is completely dismissive about this Hindenburg report. And I also was speaking to a few BJP supporters in the morning, and they said that this is an international conspiracy by the urban naxals, by the opposition. That is the kind of narrative which is being laid out. On one hand, the government is trying to distance itself from Adani. They don't want to take any political risk. But on the other hand, they have these proxy supporters who are, pepping up the narrative in favor of Adani. Now, how do you, come to terms with this kind of a divergence in approach?
I mean, they are distancing themselves because they don't want a GPC probe. That's quite obvious. The other thing is, forget about everything. Adani said he's going to take Hindenburg to court. Till date, nothing has happened on that. He hasn't said a word about it. Let him take him to court. Doodh ka doodh, pani ka pani ho jayega. We'll get to know what exactly is the truth. Whether whatever might be the political implications, whatever might be the contracts that have gone, the truth is, and I keep saying this all the time, when the report was published, their shares tanked. They had to, withdraw their FPO. That's a fact. You can't deny that fact, can you? What was the reason behind it? Why talk about Credit Suisse? Why talk about Goldman Sachs? Why talk about contracts and all that? It's a fact of life. And that's why are we talking here? We are talking here because of this. Otherwise, if one report can reduce Adani Group into a situation like this, then it needs to be really probed. You just can't say that, no, I want to distance myself.
Absolutely.
He was the second richest man a few days ago. He's now the 38th or 28th or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a fact. Why are we not admitting that fact?
Absolutely.
Why isn't that Why isn't that the finance minister, when she's being asked by reporters, why don't they question these things? They should question these things, right? They should also question that you are distancing yourself, but Adani wants to say that India's image is being damaged abroad. Harish Salve has also said that. This is bizarre. And
Right.
these are my views.
Absolutely. This is really indeed bizarre, but I'm going to give the last word to Aditi. Aditi, now, how do you see this this entire thing unfolding now? Is Modi government going to brazen it out, leave everything to Adani the way he wants to manage? He's got media on hand. He's got stakes in other companies as well. So he might as well just manage everything in favor of him. How do you really see this? And obviously, it's very obvious that Modi government or any representative from the Modi government would not like to be seen completely by Adani's side, at least in the current scenario. But do you think that they can really distance themselves and then get out of the political risk of which they are being accused?
So first of all, I want to totally agree with Giri. If there's nothing wrong, if the Adani's macros sort of sources of funding are so strong, they should not be worried about anything. And their share should not have fallen like a pack of cards. This sounds a lot like the days of Harshad Mehta and the way the markets were manipulated and the way the whole shares fell. This is number one. Number two, I'm absolutely sure of my facts on Sri Lanka, and I don't need any reminders that I should check my facts. I have heard the YouTube testimony of the chairman of the Ceylon Petroleum Corporation, and I've also heard the amount of pressure he has come under and has had to modify his statement and say that he said it in a fit of emotion. Things in Sri Lanka at that time were very bad, and the Adani investment saved them somewhat. But it cannot be denied that the Petroleum Corporation chairman said he was under pressure, publicly said that. Their testimonies are recorded and it's there on, for anybody to see. Thirdly, if the Adanis had been so kosher, so many investment bankers would not have been asking us questions about why there is such a mismatch between their market standing and their assets and the amount of debt and the money that they owe. So, I'm sure I don't have any shares of Adani's. I don't own any shares, but others may like to clarify this.
Absolutely. And I leave it to the viewers. I'm really running short of time. I know Sumitra and Sanjay wanted to make a point, but the entire discussion has dealt on almost all the points and all the questions we wanted to raise. But I leave it to the viewers to decide as to where the things are really heading to. It's very, very clear that the government is wanting to distance itself from Adani, but will they be able to continue in this format in the coming days? Watch out for the Monday, whether we see another fall in the market, all eyes would be on that. So we'll continue to discuss more on Adani because the spotlight remains still on him. Accept it or not, but there are serious questions in the way the things have happened. Thank you so much, Sumitra Goenka, Sanjay Rana, Shiv Bhatia ji, Aditi.
Thank you.
It was a pleasure having you all of you on the program. And share this video as widely as you can. Send us your feedback and stay tuned to the Federal. Thank you.
Subscribe to the Federal's YouTube page for more interesting updates.